Hello, everybody. This is Pete from PA Labs, and I do apologize about the late tardiness of this video. It's probably late enough to be tomorrow. But it's not without benefit. One of the functions that the development desktop has been lacking that I knew was coming down the pipe, I took it on yesterday, and it was an all-day adventure, and it wasn't mostly an all-day adventure today as well of my waking hours. And I finally got it to actually work, and I want to show you how this works. So for those who don't know, the PureBasic Development Desktop here is the latest iteration of a tool that I've had forever called Class Builder, but Class Builder had quite a few bugs, and part of that was at structural design. And having come to that conclusion, I knew I was tired of fixing it, so to hell with it, I'll just start it over. So that's what this is. This is a almost complete rewrite. Although a lot of the code generation is solid, it just needed some tweaks and to be reorganized, especially on the views, the form code, the Windows code. So combining it with the forms process takes out, I can't tell you how many thousands of lines of code it was to get all the enumerations and the names and all of that kind of stuff and match them up in the old days. So here I got that right off the bat. So this was like a logical extension. So the Class Builder tool has been out there for years. I know a lot of people have downloaded it. I don't know if there's people using it. I suspect that there probably are. It's worth it, even if you only use it to build your database layer code, the interaction with the database itself, because that code's rock solid. I decided that this needed to be able to import that data. Okay, now granted, this is a completely different structure. So I set about this task yesterday, and this was my first victory here. I imported the new MapMaker program that I built last year or so. So what I'm going to do right now is kill it, and then so it's not in this system. And then I want to show you how to import it. So I have the original code here. This is the project folder from Class Builder 3. I created a new MapMaker folder, and I drug over the database. I put the database in the database folder, and I dragged stuff into here, the forms and that sort of thing. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the first piece of this is to import or add an existing project, okay? So we come down here and I add new MapMaker, the new version. I'm not going to touch the code in your original folder, project folder. So these are all the forms that we have, quite a few of them in there. And so this is all okay. But what we don't have any of the database classes. We don't have any of the enumerators. I mean, and there's a lot. So rather than rewrite all of that, there's got to be some process to importing it. And that's what's eaten my lunch for 2 days now. So what we're going to do is import, and I hate the name of this. It's going to be import, I don't know, something other than that. So this kicks up a rather large screen. And this is kind of to show you what's happening kind of thing. The first piece of this is to identify your old Class Builder 3 folder. And once you do that, inside that folder, there's a hidden database called .classbuilder.db. So initially that has to be copied to a new file and then unhidden because evidently I can't play. I spent an hour and a half trying to play with a hidden file, ain't working. So I can detect it, I can see it, but when the code says, hey, open this file, it goes, hey, what file? So yeah, that's kind of a pain in the butt. So with that unhidden, what we do is we come out and I identify the parent-child classes that are set up and all the enumerators. All right, so this is your database class. These are children classes. So you can envision in the middle of this, there's some sort of hierarchy linking these tables to their parents. And also be aware that even though it's a parent, it may also have children. So, or a child, it may also have further children, so that would make these grandparents. So thinking along those lines, there's a whole lot of database keys that now are different that when this gets imported into the new system that have to be mixed and matched and mated back up. Same with enumerators. Remember in your database classes, you can have a field that is a foreign key to an enumerator, and the enumerator ID is, or the table ID is put in there so we know what table to grab. So since we're generating all this data from the actual forms and the code sheets, what I do is as I add things, I reference it by name and link it back to itself by names. So this is over 1,000 lines of code that's been written to get this happening. And now the next piece of this is the import into what project. So assumes that the project you started from was the project you want. So that's what's linked in automatically. However, you could do it into another project. So once you get that, we're going to go ahead and migrate. And, whoops, that's my little debug screen. So it runs through everything. It finds all the guys. And it puts their old IDs over here. And we're all ready to save these records and create the new IDs. And what I've done is the first piece of this that happens is the enumerator save, because they're like a base bottom layer thing. So we get them out of the way. Now I've organized the in the code. I organized the classes by descending order of how many parents it has. Okay, so in this particular project, we have a class called Hex Detail. Hex Detail, believe it or not, has 4 parents because he's the child of one of those parents. That table is the child of another table, and that table is yet the child of yet another table. So I refer to that in the code as your class value. And then I sort the whole thing by a descending order of class values. So I want to start with the very bottom people, the ones that are all the way at the bottom, so I can save that. And then I spin through the rest of them and say, who's messing with this guy and who needs his ID, and populate where his ID is needed. Then I move to the next layer, the next tier. And so it starts, the code is defaulting to like tier 10 or something. 4 and 5 I hit frequently. I can't imagine a 10. So we'll see. It does that all the way until it gets to those that have no classes, no children whatsoever, which would be 0. And they're the last ones actually generated. So it iterates through this rather quickly and saves the record. So you can see the record IDs that they now have versus what they did have, all right? And I guess if I put that in order by ID number, that would be the order in which they saved. So I did do these first over here just to get them out of the way, because numerous of these guys will reference these guys as fields. So at this point, it is saved into the database, so we can close this back. I don't have this refreshing yet. So what I'm going to do, if I go here, and this is a first, I haven't done this yet. What I did last time was jump out to the database and check out the database. So now if I come over here, look at this. We have a whole bunch of classes. Yay! And classes have fields. So I haven't finished testing it through and making sure that the IDs all linked out properly. But you can see what the issues have been. And you can see that, like on this particular class here, we have a custom classes his table, and then he's got his form class, and then he's got a parent class, and so it has linked the SS tile collection to this. So you can see how at least something's getting linked up. Whether it's the right something is my next piece of testing on this. But this allows us to take older projects that we've written and continue using Class Builder upon them and keep developing them as is. Now, another thing to point out here is that this class was this project was done with Ice Builder, the Ice Designer, and the seamless Ice Designer thing import now has been pretty fully tested. I still got a few things still to mess with it, but just for my own sanity check on this before it's released. But when this code releases, you will be able to import your old projects and just continue to use the new tool with your old stuff and archive your old stuff because you'll have a new set now, and keep moving forward and know that I've gotten rid of all of those doggone bugs in the class builder. And yeah, that's what I've been working on, and sorry for the tardiness of this particular video. But as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching.